Well, hello there, Gemini. It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing your June General Tarot reading. We'll take a look at the overall energies with the Oracle cards, and then we'll move to the Tarot for more details about any areas of resistance or advice that Spirit has for you. And if you're enjoying the content that I create, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. Okay, so Gemini, let's see what you have in store this month. Let's see. Pick Spirit. Oh, one of my favorite. Use your mind wisely. And Gemini, you're an air sign. You know, you love to use your mind. But I also like this because it's allowing you to think outside of the box. It's kind of like that Aquarian energy that we are in right now. Use your mind wisely. But if you notice, it's a pig with wings, you know, like angel wings. But you know the saying, when pigs fly, it's kind of like understanding that you have the right to imagine whatever it is that you want. And, you know, not to kind of fall into the category of, oh yeah, that'll happen when pigs fly, right? It's kind of like, no, it can happen. It can happen for you. It's about believing in yourself, believing in the divine, believing in the universe, knowing that things can work out for you when you allow yourself to just kind of like focus on what it is and where you're going, and then grounding, go deep, explore your roots. Once again, it's almost like this energy of daydream what it is that you would like to bring into fruition, even though other people may say, oh, that'll never happen, Gemini, unless pigs fly, right? Is letting you know, no, wait a minute. I have the ability. I have the talent, the intellect, the creativity, the love, the light. I have what it takes in order to be able to come up with, you know, whatever it is that your heart is truly desiring at this time. Okay, so let's go to the tarot. Let's see where this is leading, because this is a really kind of an exciting energy. It feels a little bit like you're at the beginning of a new cycle, but the cycle may not have started yet. And the reason is because you don't have the idea yet, right? Geminis are very good at coming up with a lot of ideas, but I feel like you're getting better at discerning which ideas you want to take action on and which ideas you don't. And you're kind of in that phase before a new cycle actually is starting, where you're inspired to start a new relationship, start a new business, move to a new city, whatever it is. But you're still kind of in that daydreamy energy of trying to figure out what it is that you would really like to have happen. There is an energy here where, Gemini, if you're feeling at this time like, I don't really know what I want to manifest. I really don't know where I want to go next. I don't know what experience or adventure I would like to have next. It's a little bit of that energy of saying to yourself, that's okay. You may be even saying to yourself, I'm kind of stuck in this rut. Nothing new is going to happen until pigs fly, right? And recognizing that sometimes it is about allowing yourself to ground, to daydream, to think outside of the box, to ask yourself, you know, what experiences would you like to have that you have not yet had? What adventures would you like to go on that you have not yet gone on, right? Looking outside of your comfort zone. I think that is definitely the energy here of looking outside of the box, of what you have already experienced, of what is comfortable to you, and stepping into kind of a new arena of allowing yourself to go after things that in the past you may have said, you know, that'll never happen until pigs fly. Okay, so let's go see what we have here for your present energy. Adjustments are required. Yeah, there is this energy where I feel like you're almost a little bit stuck, okay? Even though you have this grounding energy here, it could be that you're a little bit stuck, kind of stuck in what you're doing and seeing a way out of it, or seeing where you would like to go. It could be that you're not in a terrible position, and yet at the same time it's kind of like, well, I feel like there's something out there that I'd like to go do or explore or experience. And there's this energy where you're having to almost like allow yourself, give yourself permission to daydream for things to be different. You know, sometimes when we get into a safe space, and it doesn't mean, safe does not mean that it's actually comfortable. It doesn't actually mean that it's the best place for us. It's just, it's considered safe because you don't have to expend any more energy, or you don't have to make any changes in what you're doing. It's safe because it's kind of familiar to you. So with this energy, adjustments are needed. It is this energy that it's time to start making some adjustments. It's kind of like time to almost stir the pot of your own daydreaming, of what it is that you would like to bring into your own life. Because we have the healing light and open your heart. I think it's been a long time, perhaps, Gemini, if you're resonating with this, it's been a very long time since you have actually gone after something that is near and dear to your heart. And the other thing here is that you have the Queen of Pentacles, lovely energy, right? But the Queen of Pentacles can be very grounded and yet at the same time a little stuck in the mud, because she has everything. She kind of has her life kind of tied up in a bow, right? She maybe has a nice job or a nice career. She has a family life. You know, she has financial stability. It's almost like, yeah, things are good. Things are good. But so sometimes the Queen of Pentacles can be considered, the King and Queen, I'll say, both of them can be considered a little bit boring, okay? Because they've kind of come to a good place in their life, and yet it's just comfortable. It's safe. It's not really what their heart is truly desiring. It's not creative. It's not out of the box. It's just kind of status quo. And your life, if you feel like your life has kind of gotten into a status quo, that you're okay with your life, you know, I mean, maybe you want to make some changes, but it's not this energy of, well, I'll put a lot of time and energy into that because I want out of this situation. It's really kind of an energy of, well, I can tolerate the life that I'm in. It's okay, right? And this is an energy of letting you know that it's time to kind of like stir the pot of what your heart truly desires. The Queen of Pentacles can be very giving to other people. And Gemini, you can be, your immutable sign, you can be very giving to others. So it's almost this energy of understanding that you're being generous to others, perhaps helping others be happy in their life, but you're not going after what really and truly makes you happy. And it's I think this stirring that is within you. If you feel like unsettled in your life, or you're not really sure what's wrong, it's almost that energy. It's kind of like, you know that something needs to change and yet you're not sure why. Or you're not sure what. You might not even be sure what needs to change. It's this energy of, okay, I got to start stirring that pot. I got to start thinking outside of the box. I got to start daydreaming. I have to reconnect to what my heart truly desires and go in that direction. Because the Queen of Pentacles is very focused on keeping herself safe. And that means sometimes that we keep ourselves in a place, in a job, in a relationship, in a situation that is okay, but not really heart pumping, right? So let's go ahead and let's see what your obstacle is here. You have communication is key, and you have the new moon in Gemini, which is coming up very shortly, in about 2 weeks. So the new moon in Gemini is this energy of allowing yourself to step out of the box, to see different opportunities that are actually being presented to you. Okay, but it's with the new moon in Gemini, it's also that energy that you have. It's kind of like looking at the different options and not cutting them off just because you think it's impossible. Geminis are very good at bringing things to life that other people wouldn't be able to do, because you can see beyond the obstacles. In fact, in other words, I would say Geminis a lot of times wear rose-colored glasses, right? They don't focus on what isn't working. They focus on what it is that they really and truly want, what their heart is desiring. And I think for a long time, you may have gone through a tower moment. You may have gone through a time in your life, especially that Pluto and Capricorn energy from 2008 until March of this year. You could have had a lot of tower moments, and then suddenly you got yourself kind of settled, okay, and feeling safe about life again. Maybe not enthusiastic, okay, but safe. And so it's kind of like, now you're recognizing, okay, wait a minute, I've healed from this past situation, right? It's time for me to kind of broaden my horizons, try some new things. It's going from that survival mode into the thriving mode. And yet that does take an adjustment. It does mean, okay, wait a minute. I have to not just be the Queen of Pentacles. I want to step into my Empress energy. I want to really go for it. The Queen of Pentacles is one queen. The Empress is all four queens, all put together. So it's time to kind of like step out, understand that you are deserving of more and that you're ready for more. So let's see what else we have here. Travel, recognize the signs above, and Chariot. I think for some of you, it's not just about maybe going into a new chapter of your life. I think some of you are truly moving either physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually away from something that is in your life. But you've been holding back on making this big change. And I think for some of you, this is like a big leap of faith. It's very much like when pigs fly, right? But understanding that you haven't yet kind of stepped into the energy of having the courage to do this because you finally found yourself kind of safe. Okay, maybe a little bored, maybe not quite enthusiastic about the situation you're in, but after a long period of time of perhaps feeling very unsettled, very, chaotic, very much one tower after another, it feels good, or it felt good for a while to feel like, okay, I'm treading water. I'm at least treading water. I'm not drowning anymore. Now it's time to understand that you have learned the swimming strokes that can get you to the next chapter, but not just any chapter. It's a chapter full of love, abundance, joy, prosperity, everything that your heart is truly desiring. The problem is that you have to start swimming. You have to actually start taking action and start, using your arms and your legs to start propelling yourself towards where it is that you want to go. Yes, when I was a child, my parents were very much, made my sister and brother and I take swimming lessons, which is great, keeping us safe. But I remember I was petrified of water. I had an experience at a young age where I almost drowned. And after that, I was like, I'm not going in the water. But my parents were kind of like, okay, after some time, that I got over it, they were kind of like, okay, you need, this is something that is good for you, to take swimming lessons so that you're not fearful. Like I never wanted to go anywhere near water. And so understanding that sometimes you have to you have to go through the swimming lessons, right? And I did, and I'm glad I did. And put yourself through that situation that may be a little bit uncomfortable. But of course, I was taking swimming lessons with a trained teacher and, lifeguard and all of that. I was going to be safe, while I was learning how to propel, how to swim, how to use my arms and legs to propel myself in the water. And I think that that's kind of where you are. Yeah, you're just holding back. You're fearful. Look at this. You're holding back. 5 of Swords. This could have been a lot of mental conflict that you had with other people that played maneuvering games with you, and it's preventing you. It probably came in as a very difficult ending, and you're trying to stay safe. There's just this energy. I don't want to get into any more conflicts. I don't want anything else to end. I finally got my life okay. Once again, it's okay. It's not the life that I am really dreaming of. It's just okay. And some of you may have actually an idea of what you would like to bring into your life. And yet at the same time, if you're having trouble moving, changing patterns of behavior or thinking, if you're having trouble propelling yourself, getting yourself to take action on this, I think that, your obstacle is what you are going to overcome in the next 4 weeks. It's understanding, wait a minute. Okay, what do I need? Do I need to go take some swimming lessons? What do I need to find a buddy that will help me on this new path? If you're trying to make big changes in your health or in creating a business or anything like that, sometimes, especially for a Gemini, it does help to have a buddy to go with you. Look at this. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, this is just so beautiful, because I feel like if you've been kind of working on something for a while, Gemini, maybe your own business or, a creative endeavor, or kind of even around your house, or kind of thinking about traveling, you've been putting a little energy into it, maybe even working kind of hard on it, but it hasn't really clicked, right? You can't get the gears to all work so that you can find victory and move forward quickly in this. The part of the reason is that you needed to finish out this healing. You needed to understand, okay, it is safe for me to explore what my heart desires, whether that's romance or if it's starting a business or traveling or whatever it is. It's kind of like, I can't stay safe anymore. If I just stay on land, right? If I stay on land the rest of my life, I'll never be able to journey to other lands by crossing the water, right? Understanding that it's time to I feel like it's time to get your feet wet, whatever that might mean, because, oh, look, yeah, they're saying that. And then I just, realized that the star card, she has 1 foot in the water, right? It's kind of like, it's time to get your feet wet. It's time to put yourself out there. And it's not, once again, it's not like my parents, they knew I had a fear of water. It wasn't like they just took me and threw me in a pool of water and said, learn how to swim, right? They allowed there to be baby steps, they hired a good instructor, somebody that would be patient with me, and that type of thing. Understanding that you can take the baby steps, but at some point you have to break out of your fears. And I think that that's exactly what you're doing. Look at this. You have the Queen of Wands, getting your confidence back, really putting some work into celebrating what it is that you cherish about yourself and what you would like to experience in the future. Looking forward, okay? Looking forward to what it is that you want to celebrate. And I think for a lot of you, it may have to do with work or career. And it could also mean to bring in some other relationships into your life. Perhaps a new soul tribe, something like that, after a long period of feeling kind of left out, that type of thing. Yeah, we also have the King of Wands underneath here. I think you may have, for some of you that are maybe looking for romance, there could be a new romantic partner, in the near future for you. But let's think about that. That person isn't just going to come up and ring your doorbell, right? You have to put yourself out there. You have to take those baby steps, whatever that might mean for you. You have to be kind and gentle with yourself, but say, you know what? It's time. It's time. I have the confidence. I know that I've healed from this past situation. I'm ready to move forward. And then taking the baby steps, getting your feet wet, getting on a dating app or whatever, going on a date, sharing. Some of you have been working behind the scenes, trying to create something new, or thinking of a new business, it's time to actually put it out there. And it doesn't mean that you have to do a big launch, right? It could be a little bit of a soft launch. You could just share it with friends and family, letting them know, okay, hey, I'm trying to do something new. Let me share what I have for you now. Getting a little bit feedback, maybe from people that you trust, so that it'll help build your confidence so that you can get more and more wet. You can go into the deeper and deeper waters. Okay, so let's take a look at your advice. Change is coming. Yeah, I am here to guide you through this exciting transformation. And once again, I feel like, you have meditate and contemplate. You have the Page of Wands. Good news is coming towards you, especially when you connect. I think there's a big, kind of like an energy here of connecting to your angels, your spirit guides, to your higher self. meditating or, just having conversations with your spirit guides and angels, getting those messages from them about helping you to gain your confidence, knowing that it is time for you to kind of like come out of your shell. And then look at this kindred partnership. And once again, that could be a romantic partner. It could be just new friends, soul tribe members. It could be a new business partner. It's understanding that part of this, I think part of the situation that you're in is that you've been keeping yourself safe, but you've also maybe have kept yourself isolated. And that could be, just emotionally isolated or physically isolated. And Gemini, you're a very social creature, right? This is allowing yourself to kind of put yourself out there, to meet new people, to understand that connections are really important to you. And even if you don't want to find a business partner, it's finding other people, perhaps even online, that you can kind of communicate with, that you can have conversations with about what it is that you're trying to bring into fruition. Understanding. I feel like there's a little bit of a message here that you can't do this alone, whatever this is. It's time to share it with somebody else. Whether that's just a friend and you just want to share your idea, there is this energy of it's time to share with other people. Yeah, because you have regained your focus and the 7 of Cups. I feel like there's a little bit of you might be all over the place, because if you feel kind of scattered at this time, I think one of the reasons is that there is something that you want to focus on, but it's almost like you're preventing yourself from focusing on it because you don't want to be disappointed, or you don't want to put yourself out there and then it doesn't come true, or you have a feeling that you might lose something by doing that, right? Because you have the deception card. I feel like in the past you had somebody that deceived you or, hurt you, because you have the 10 of Swords here, right? Somebody that did you wrong in the past and is preventing you, recognizing, being radically accountable for the fact that you may have given your power to somebody else. You may feel like, oh no, I've moved on from that. But asking yourself, are you allowing yourself to also take a risk to move forward, or are you allowing that person or what has happened in the past to prevent you from stepping into your power? Once you kind of like look at, somebody else may have hurt you, but the deception here could be that you're not kind of looking at what that person did and recognizing within yourself how that is preventing you from stepping into your power. The only person that can change that, Gemini, is you, is to take a look at that situation. What is your greatest fear in that situation? And then saying, wait a minute, that person doesn't get to hold my power anymore. I'm putting that down and I'm stepping back into my power so that I can go after what my heart truly desires. Wow, that almost gets me emotional there, Gemini, because it is, once we recognize that whether we truly realize it or not, that somebody else we have allowed somebody to still hold our power, hold us back from going after what we want. It kind of can get you a little bit kind of stirred up. It's kind of like, no, they've already gotten enough from me. They're not getting any more. And maybe once you get there, you're willing to allow yourself to dream about what it is that you want to have come in, and even be able to say to yourself, yeah, it's coming true. Not when pigs fly, it's coming true now. Really beautiful energy. Yeah, loving. Oh my gosh, look at this. When you allow yourself to drop the fears, the self-imposed doubts, okay, that are holding you back. You do this final healing and you go after what your heart truly desires by listening to your intuition, okay? The Queen of Cups is very intuitive. It's listening to your intuition. If you're sitting there and you're saying, I don't really have anything I want to go after. I don't even know what I want. Okay, then I would say it really is time for you to reconnect to your heart, right? To spend some time daydreaming, but also understanding that you may have disconnected from the idea of going after something. If you don't have a dream, right, then you could have disconnected because you just You're like, I just don't want to be disappointed. So you're not even allowing yourself to dream. Understanding maybe the first baby step here, understanding that you're going to get your foot in the water. You're going to put your foot, your toe into the water. You're going to take that first step by just sitting down and writing down all of the things that you would still like to experience or the adventures you'd like to go on while you're on earth. That, we don't have, we only have a limited amount of time. We don't even know what that time is, right? So it's like, it's time to get busy. It's time to get your feet wet. It's a beautiful energy. All right, well, let's go ahead and pull your soul truth card for some final advice. And Gemini, I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. All right, let's see. Who am I ready to forgive? Yeah, this is a good one. I am not what happened to me. I am who I choose to become. Is it time to let go, forgive, and move onward? Is your soul ready to forgive someone else or yourself? Forgiveness brings sweet release, freedom, and insight. Look at it from their shoes. Notice how you grow. Notice how you grew and what you learned. Who do you want to become, and how is this resistance holding you from what your soul wants? Write a forgiveness letter, then practice the Ho'oponopono prayer today while thinking of the person you are ready to forgive. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. I love that prayer. I've used it often. And I think it is. I think it's coming back to that radical, accountability to yourself, radical acceptance that you have allowed somebody here to still hold you back, okay? Even though you may have healed from that situation, it's about totally releasing it and saying, okay, wait a minute. You know what? I have healed from this situation. I'm ready to open my heart and I'm ready to go after what it is that I want to experience. Wow, beautiful energy, Gemini. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I do wish you so much love and light. Thank you so much for all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.